I'm John Skinner, and this supports my online fluke fishing course at saltstrong.com/Skinner. And I'll have links to all of the gear in the description of the video. And here we go, my first trip in my new Hobie. A couple of weeks prior to this, I had test ridden one at Three Bells Marine up in Niantic, Connecticut. But, yep, here's mine, and I'm going out on my first trip. And you know what? If I catch anything, that's going to be a bonus. I'm going to be happy if I can just, figure out how to adjust everything and, learn what I need to learn. And yeah, you can see here I'm messing around with this. This is a strap that keeps the fins underneath like flat to the kayak, and that bungee cord, since it's new, was really kind of stiff. And so that was just holding that pedal back. That's what that was. Yep. So here we go. First time getting in this one, and this is the first time this one's hitting the water. And you can see, you know what? That Humminbird fish finder is the one that was on my boat before I got a new fish finder. And there's something, I think it's a Yak Attack. I'll try to find it and put a link to it. But it's a really handy adapter for the Humminbird to fit that gear track that's on the Outback. That's the Hobie Outback. And there's just a lot of really cool fishing features. You can see what I'm doing there is I'm adjusting the position of the pedals, because taller versus shorter anglers will want to have those pedals in different positions. So adjusting that, and let's get that fish finder going and be on my way. Okay, and here we go. Montauk Point is 28 miles in that direction, and I'm not going there. Yeah, I'm gonna try and stay real close here, and luckily there's not a lot of boat traffic, so you can see I'm not too far out off the shore, but I'm in some areas where I've caught some decent fluke, so hopefully I can do something. Fluke. Fluke. First Hobie fluke. And he's a shorty. All right, I'm happy to get that first Hobie fluke, and that's a small one. And you know what? The fishing has been challenging. Yeah, really having to work hard for some decent fish. So, like I said, I'm just happy to do something here and, hopefully catch some fish. So, you see how I dropped this fish? This is so typical of fluke. That one came off, a few cranks off the bottom. You just get right back down there. Those things are so aggressive. You know what? If that thing comes out of its mouth, you probably annoyed it to the point that it's going to come back, and that one did. Come on. Okay, just another little one. So I'm noticing that the kayak is very stable. My ocean kayak, the Trident, is really an excellent kayak as well. But that one's 28 inches wide. This one's 34. So this has got that extra width and the whole design that makes it stable. Okay. I want to get some water over the front, and I suppose I could just pour water in there, but I would rather really try to push it into some waves here. And I want to see how it cuts through the little waves. And good, I'm picking up a little bit of water over the front, because some people online had said, some water will get into that hatch, but then Hobie addressed that and did some extra seal on the inside. And in fact, when I got in, there was no water. I didn't take much water over the front. It was just this one time and then one other time where I went pushing in. This thing really pedals and cuts beautifully. So some people have seen the trolling motor on my boat and have asked me how big a boat can be pulled or pushed by a trolling motor. Well, that one looks like a 25-footer, so there's a pretty large example of a boat with a trolling motor. Hey, what I'm doing here is, and I did this a lot on this trip, is had my feet on the pedals when I was fishing. I'm in reverse, and I've got no drift at the moment. So what I'm doing is just a couple of kicks and pushing backwards. And the reason I'm going backwards to do this is because that's keeping the line angled out in front of me rather than going behind me, and it is so comfortable. So, hey, I can make my own drift. It's kind of like having a trolling motor. If there's no drift, I've got it in reverse, a couple of pumps, watch the GPS, dial it in, 0.8, 1 mile an hour, somewhere in there, and there's another short fluke picked up by backpedaling. And I learned quickly that if you've got the wind coming at you in a situation where you might use a drift sock, you just leave it in forward, and you can give a few pumps into the wind to cut that back. I am back in reverse here again. It's the next drift after that little fluke, and trying to make my own drift, and this is going to be a nice little fish. Oh, look at this. So that was a total nice surprise. I love seeing these fish. You could hear that one drumming, making that noise when it came in the boat. You know what, that's definitely a keeper. I am not going to keep any fish this trip. I'm just out to mess with the kayak. I actually have fluke fillets in the fridge from a trip a couple days prior where I had a limit. So I've got plenty of meat. Everything's going back. I don't keep the weeks anyway. I let them go. So it was nice to see a weakfish. Hey, here's another thing. I can do stuff while I'm pedaling. I know anybody with a Hobie laughs at these obvious observations here, but hey, that was great to be able to do that. All right, I have made a 1.5 mile pedal into the current to change spots, and one thing I can say is, boy, it was a lot easier to cover ground pedaling because I really didn't get tired. You could just keep pedaling and pedaling. The other thing I really liked is that the seat is up higher, and it's a very comfortable seat. Especially, it's got so many adjustments, so I've got it adjusted well, and what a huge difference. And just being up a little higher, letting your knees be bent like that, just makes it much more comfortable. I've got a fluke here just playing with the stuff and just not quite getting them.
Come on. You're down there, come on. Oh, come on, you're going with it. Just feel them going with it. Oh!
All right, I'm just going to get back down to the bottom as fast as I can. We'll see. All right, about 90 seconds has passed. I don't think the next fish is going to be the one I just dropped, but I suppose it's possible.
Oh, that's a better one. Damn yeah. Freaking nice.
All right, so any fish on this trip would be icing on the cake, and oh, wow, this was really a nice one. So this really made the trip for me, getting this guy. And again, well, you know what? I would have released this one anyway. I try to release these bigger ones, but yeah, it's going back.
Yeah.
All right, and I didn't fish too much longer after that. That one just made my trip. Okay, so what I'm doing there is pulling up the rudder, pulling on that handle, and it just locks right in there. And now I did something wrong. I put those pedals even. I should have spread them out to keep the fins flat. But you know what? I knew I was getting out of water in enough water to not hit the fins on the bottom, but I should have flattened the fins out. And you flatten them out by pushing those pedals in opposite directions. But there's enough water here. And it comes out nice and easy. And I had definitely practiced that before going out on the trip. Okay. Got to get this thing home. It's heavier than my Ocean Trident by about 10 pounds. 10 pounds makes a difference. It's also a little wider. You can see I've got a cart underneath it. I've got a Harbor Freight bed extender with the 20% coupon. It's like 48 bucks. It's got a pool noodle, duct tape, and I'm going directly from the cart onto the bed extender, keeping the nose in the sand so I'm not scraping anything up. And it's the first time I'm doing this, so I'm guessing here, but yeah, this should work, and that's why I'm hesitating. So I'm looking at it thinking, yeah, this should work. I've got a rug in the back of the truck, just a 60 by 40 inch rug, and I'm gonna just slide that thing right in over the bed extender into the bed, and that's gonna be that. And I only have like a mile to drive. So I'll just secure it up in the front so it doesn't go anywhere. And here's my cart. That's not a Hobie cart. That is a Sea Tug with Wheel Z wheels on there. It's a great cart because you can use it on the sand. It works really well. It worked well on the Hobie. Okay, thanks for watching. And if you like these videos, please subscribe.